Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for John Perrotta's Comedy Factory Zoom-A-Loser, sponsored in part by the Search Committee for Rockin' Joe. Why? Because this is our 80th episode, and the people want to see him. And now, your host, the man who's rumored to know Rockin' Joe's whereabouts, John Perrotta.
Rockin' Joe will be on the show December 22nd. We got a holiday show. He's going to be on that night. So we have finally lured, God willing, Rockin' Joe will make an appearance. He'll be here.
Yay!
Oh, finally. Yay.
And we got surprises that night, Mike. We got surprises.
We have I love surprises.
We got surprises.
That's the Christmas episode?
I love
it's
surprises.
going to be December 22nd. It's going to be a wacky episode. A lot of surprises. What did you have for lunch today, Mike? I've been on a diet. I lost 5 pounds last week trying to lose weight.
Oh my God,
Mikey,
great.
yeah, Mike used to send me pictures of food. I finally had to tell him stop. He would send me sausage and peppers, veal palm, chicken palm. What did you eat today, Mike? So I had shakes
today
and a protein bar.
I had to call my friends at Twins today for the first time. They dropped the ball. I ordered my number 5 combo, which is the chicken cutlet, 2 meatballs, 2 sweet links of Italian sausage, smothered in Parmesan cheese.
All right,
and a
let's end the
lasagna.
show. I'm going there now.
No Parmesan cheese. So I called up and Lena goes, "What's going on, Mike?" I said, "Oh, Lena, here's what happened." So she said, "Next time, call it in directly. Come and get it, and it's on us."
Are you all right? Did you have enough?
Well, I was a little traumatized initially. So what I did was I ate the lasagna first, and maybe after the show I'll ride down to the market and get some Kraft mozzarella and throw it across the top and throw it into the oven and smother it up. Get that baby nice and lathered.
I'm getting hungry, so let's introduce our panel so I can get my mind off food.
All
We
right.
have a great panel tonight. Very funny. I met her at the Cumberland Park. I don't know how long ago now. I lost track. Debra Palardy. How you doing, Debra?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Now we got from Massachusetts. She dates our man Nick LaBouffe in New Hampshire. Holly Johnston's in the house. How you doing, Holly?
How's it going, John? I'm doing just fine.
It's going. And in our secret square right in the middle, very funny. Used to work with me. Us guys early 90s and a little later, and then he decided to leave us and go to Florida. I don't know why he did that. We still miss you. Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas. What's up, Mikey?
I'm in shorts. I'm loving the sunny weather. That's why I'm here. You
You're in
guys are getting
shorts.
surrounded by 2 feet of snow.
Oh.
Thanks, Mike. Get him off the edge, Mike. And then we got, here he is, our home improvement guy. He looks like he's ready to start a project in the kitchen or something. Bernie Perrotty's in the house. Bernie,
Everybody, how
from
you doing?
Somerset, Mass. That's a hopping place. There's a lot going on out there, right, Bernie?
I know, it's all in the red. We're all
You're
staying
in the
down here in the
reds.
basement. I can't get any lumber. I can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
Then I get trapped down here.
Are you trying to get lumber? You having trouble?
Yeah, not really.
I did in the summer. I had to do my I had
heard
to do
it's
my deck
expensive,
in
though.
the I had to do my deck in the summer. My friend went. It took 6 weeks to get the wood. He took the deck down, and then okay, we're gonna put the deck up. And he goes to get wood. Went to every Home Depot, Lowe's, nothing. No wood for the deck. I couldn't believe it. Took like
Yeah,
six-
there's a big run on building supplies right now, and everything you can get is really, really expensive too.
Yeah, because everybody's home. A lot of people work from home when they were doing home projects and everything else. We got one more we got to introduce, Bernie. She's an actress. She was a Houston Oilers cheerleader. Always has a story or two about that. Comic, very funny. Elaine Pelino. How you doing, Elaine?
Good. How about you? Doing
I'm
good.
doing all right. We'll stop by with you. How's the pond out there? You got a
Well, the
pond by
pond
your
was
house.
it was frozen for a couple of days. It just defrosted a little bit, and actually I saw 2 ducks. But obviously we're going to have a lot of snow, and believe me, anything that was 6 inches, I'm not interested in snow. So.
You're not into the snow.
I was up my back. Or maybe I should make it the other way. But honestly,
A few years ago, Elaine, I went out and shoveled the snow. I literally got chest pains. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. It was bad.
oh no.
And I got through it after about a half hour. And after that, I got my own snow guy now. I texted him. I said, when the snow stops Thursday, come over. I clean my cars off. I pull them out. He does everything. It's reasonable. He's a good guy, and I get everything done. I was going to get Mike Thomas, somebody in his family, to do it, but the Thomases all went to Florida. They want to hear nothing.
Let me tell you, when we left Florida, I put all of my snow removal equipment, anything that I was not going to use, snow blowers, shovels, scrapers, I put them all out in my backyard. And I called 3 of my neighbors. And I said, take whatever you want. And they were fighting over shit. It was like, I don't want it. I said, take it all.
Mike, what if you come up to visit in the winter? You need a shovel. You might need a shovel.
I'll rent one. I'll go see Bernie. Bernie has them in his basement. He'll go pull me out a shovel or something over there. I'm not worried about it.
Just got a new
you
one.
holding up all right over there? Or you want to eat your leftovers? If you want to start eating, go ahead. Help yourself.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, like I said, I'll probably go down to Walgreens. They have a nice selection of cheese services there. I'll get a bag, put it over the top, throw it in the oven at 350 for like maybe 20 minutes and melt it up. Then I'll be good.
Walgreens is the place to go. Pick up a burrito too. That'd be great.
I don't like burritos. I'm not a burrito kind of guy.
Mike, if you're really hungry, try the tuna at Cumberland Farms. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to drink heavy, and I go in there and get. I used to go in there and get Twinkies, apple pie, those apple pies, and a tuna salad sandwich at Cumberland Farms. Elaine, it's out of this world. I'm telling you, you could.
Oh, it sounds great.
I can let you in on a little secret with the Cumberland Farms. I do hit the Cumberland Farms up, down where I live. Used to be the iconic restaurant. Betty's used to be there for years. Now it's one of those big, fancy, schmancy Cumberland Farms. And they really up their game. So one day I ordered a pizza. And the pizza was so good, I called Melanie back, the manager. I'm like, dude, this pizza is absolutely fabulous.
Cumberland Farms pizza.
She says to me, Mike, it's good because it's made by DiGiorno's.
Oh.
That's the frozen pizza. DiGiorno's.
Frozen pizza, man. It is absolutely fantastic.
Well, I can't help but wonder if the tuna sandwich is somehow tied to the chest pains when you shovel. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I gotta say, I'm serious. If it's 2 in the morning and you've been drinking, there's nothing like a tuna salad at Cumberland Farms.
Speaking of drinking, I always have a special drink for our shows. Tonight,
What do you got?
Scorpion Bowls.
Mike, you're out of your mind. I haven't had a drink in 4 years. This guy's going bananas.
I even got the long straws.
I used to have straws too, but for other things. Debra Palardy.
Yes.
Debra, what are you doing? What's going on in your world?
Well, I mean, I'm been doing a lot of Zoom mics.
And how's that going?
It's going really well because they're doing 4 and 5 minute bits. So if you have like a 4-minute bit, then you can write it down, slow it down, turn it into, an 8-minute one. If you do them every night, which I've been doing them every night, you can get quite a library going. So
you've been doing it almost every night. Huh?
Almost every night, yes.
Who's running all these Zoom shows? Different comedians?
Yes, a lot of different ones.
How come I'm not seeing you advertise it on Facebook, Debra?
They're just kind of private mics. We're just practicing our craft.
You guys have your clothes on when you do it, or
some of them
OnlyFans open mic? Is that what it is?
Some of them are on Facebook though.
Discreet open mics for swingers. Right, Debra? Swingers.
The underground society over here.
Carol Newells is on Facebook. I was on hers a couple of times, and sometimes Dat Fans he goes live. His is mostly Saturday night, but I do during the week. So I'm really just practicing and trying to get a library going, while we're all taking a break.
See, I decided on trying to do the Zoom like a talk show because I can't picture me doing my act on it. Maybe eventually I'll try something, but I just can't picture me because I really work the audience and it's hard to work at home, I think. I don't know.
It is a little difficult, but I've been practicing. I've gotten a lot of material created, so I'm really happy about that. But I need to ask you something. You said you were shoveling and you started getting chest pains, then you got through it. What? Why did you if you're getting chest pains, why did you not stop?
You're right. I was thinking the same thing, Debra.
Why did I what?
Why did you stop?
Why did I stop shoveling?
Yeah.
Why did
We
you?
want me to have a heart attack all the way. Listen, why did I stop?
Why didn't you stop?
Or why didn't I? Did. No, as soon as I started getting the chest pains, I put the shovel down. I remember walking in the house. I sat in a chair. You know when you can't get right? I'm in the chair. That wasn't working. I lay on the couch. I'm still clutching my chest. I go outside and sit in my car. My neighbor's across the street. He's shoveling. And he was like 10 years older than me. he's shoveling. I'm ready to tell him, you got to call a rescue. And somehow, eventually, it was like a half hour, went away.
Why
I've never shoveled since.
Oh.
Why did you go sit in an emergency room?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What's up with that?
Because you couldn't get out because you didn't finish shoveling, right?
I didn't finish.
Get out of the
shoveling.
driveway.
I didn't finish shoveling.
I
Holly
thought you said
Johnston.
you finished.
No, I didn't finish. Holly Johnston. I know you've been doing some Zoom shows. What have you been doing, Holly?
I've been pretty busy this month, which has been really cool. I did my first corporate gig last week,
Wow. That's
which was
great.
really cool. It was for a consulting agency. I don't know if I can say the exact name. I don't know if they want their privacy or whatever, but I learned what consultants were. So I did some research on it because I wanted to have some jokes that were relevant and that the audience could relate to. And it went really well. And the person who booked me for that corporate gig actually just booked me for another corporate gig tomorrow for a different company.
And how much time did you have to do at the corporate gig, Holly?
I just did a guest spot, so I did 5 minutes. But tomorrow I think I'm doing between 5 and 8.
Wow.
So
Hey, you're getting
Thanks.
out there.
Holly, I have a question for you. If we stretched you out, how much time can you do and stay strong?
I would like to think I could do 15, but I could probably do 15, around 10 or 15, I would say. Anything past there definitely would need a lot more polishing and, rehearsing and practice, but I would say at least 15 at this point.
I remember seeing, first time I saw Holly at 40's Tavern in New Hampshire, did awesome. Then I had her and boyfriend Nick come down to Comedy Connection. They did awesome, and we were getting ready to do a bunch of stuff. Nick was going to be filming comedians and stuff. We had a lot of things in the works, and I only met you with Nick in January, and by February we had a lot of plans with you guys. They're very funny, both of you. And Debra, I seen Debra come along, and also I worked with. I remember back in, I think it was February 28th. I had Spirito's Restaurant, and I went first to do a gig with Elaine and Jody Sloan. Fortunately, it was a cancer benefit, and he's since passed away. But that was a benefit we did. So I went over there, and Elaine was very funny. Everybody was doing great. Bernie's always funny. It's Mike I haven't seen in 20 years. I'm sure he can tell a joke. I don't know.
It hasn't been 20 years.
When's the last time you were on stage, Mike? I know you took a break.
Since I left Rhode Island.
Wow. And what was that?
Wow, really?
I want to get back into it, but it's, how it is when you first start. You got to go to open mics. You got to bring crowds. You got to, I did that so much back in the 90s. I hate to start over. So
Yeah.
I'm just, when everybody's vaccinated and all this is past you, I'm traveling up and I'm going to do a show with you.
Yeah, I'll definitely book you.
We're gonna figure that out.
Mike was always funny. You did Periwinkles with us too, right?
Yep, Periwinkles back in the day. Yep.
Periwinkles Comedy Club. Great. We did a club. We did an Italian restaurant. It was called the Great Impasta. 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 We did every Saturday night for about a year and a half.
That's a great room.
Mike was there, and Mike Cronin.
That was absolutely
We had no clue what we were doing, and we would charge a $5 cover. And every Saturday, the place got full, and it became such a hot room. I remember we had a benefit. If you ever heard of Bob Marley from Maine, one of the best comedians in the world, Bob Marley and Tom Carter, we had on back-to-back, two of the best comedians ever to come out of New England. We had them on, and Edward Jean used to stop in, and Charlie Hall, and it became a really popular room. Unfortunately, during the week, the restaurant didn't do well. They wound up closing, but we did it about a year and a half. And we used to have a lot of fun over there. We had a lot of fun. So we're having
I remember when you were running Friday and Saturday out of there.
Yeah, we were for a while. Maybe it was Friday and Saturday. I'm old, I forget.
It was Friday and Saturday for a long time. It was Friday.
It
and
was, right. Because if you...
We're doing a Great Imposter reunion show. We got Mike Cronin, myself, David Watson, Tim Sullivan, Allison O'Donnell. We make it a couple others going back from way back. It was the early 90s. Yeah, we had a lot of fun back then.
And it was a good room, but it was a tough room because you were in an area where there was a lot of locals, so you constantly had to do new stuff because it was the same people a lot of times coming back, and a lot of times you go up there and it was completely unrehearsed. You'd go up with notes and you're like, I hope this goes well.
Sometimes a lot of us bombed, right? And they still kept coming. People kept coming.
Yeah.
I don't know, a few guys would do good, a few of us would bomb, and they would come back. A lot of them every week. Well, we'd always have a crowd, like 100 people. I remember walking in there on Saturday nights. I'd ask the waitress. She said, "We're sold out." It was like we didn't make much money, but we had fun,
Wait, what's there now? Is that the credit union that's there now?
There's a drugstore there now. I go there Saturday nights at 8 o'clock and wait in the parking lot to see if anybody.
I think now, John, it was a Rite Aid, but I think that someone told us on one of our 80 episodes here that it's now a tire store.
I'll go in there and tell a joke. I don't give a shit.
I
If I'm Mike in the tire store, we'll have an open mic on Sundays.
That'd be great.
They still have their restaurant open in East Providence. Remember, John? We did a private party there upstairs. Remember, it was like a shoebox room. It was so small.
It was Mama Spumoni's.
It's still there. Mama Spumoni's.
Newport Ave. They got a room upstairs. It was like 50 people. I did a bachelor party there. I did a party with Mike there, and small room, but it was fun.
Didn't the Great Imposter? Didn't that go to Mama Spumoni's after?
No, there was Great Imposter. It was the same owner. He had the Great Imposter and he had Mama Spumoni's because Mama Spumoni's opened in '78. They both opened. They were both going at the same time.
I think that was Mama Spumoni's then before it was Great Imposter. They changed the name.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
You go back and look. There's actually a great website. I found it the other day and it was all about, and I looked it up because of the Great Imposter. And it's everything. It's the history basically of Warwick, Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah.
And I went specifically, you can look on every single road and see what's there now and what it started there. And I swear it said it was a Mama Spumoni's either before or after the Great Imposter.
Yeah.
Each one, but that was a great room.
Oh, yeah. Elaine, you got a story ready for us yet? Elaine always has a story between her cheerleading days or movie days.
Oh, my God. Oh, gosh, I'm trying to think of something.
I don't think you're going to be able to top the Sylvester Stallone story. That was
No.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Elaine, tell that story again because Elaine sent me tell a story, Elaine. That was awesome.
No, I when I was in LA, I used to date some guys that were pretty famous, and I met Frank Stallone at a private party in Malibu. And it was really funny, really hot, and we started dating. And then I met someone else. I got engaged to the California Pizza Kitchen chairman of the board, which I had pizza off the wazoo, right? And all the free pizza I can eat, But anyway, so I didn't see him for a few years, and then one day I went to work. I came home, and the next day I made something to eat for Thanksgiving. And I get a phone call, and it's Frank saying, "Hey, you want to come over to my brother's tonight for Thanksgiving dinner?" I went, "Heck yeah, are you kidding me?" And it was like the most amazing thing because I walked in, and there's Sly Stallone standing there in sweatpants, a t-shirt, and no shoes on, and he's just like kind of tasting the food and the chef's cooking, and I'm like just standing there just shocked.
So what did he say to you? Yo. What did he say?
I'm Elaine.
He said, "Yo, Elaine."
Elaine, what's going on? No, and like I said, they were very funny, and it was all because he had this big dog, like a bulldog, but like bigger than a pit bull. And the dog was wrestling Frank, and I was laughing so hard. I was sitting like on the sunken living room. I'm sitting on the steps. So Sly comes, he sits next to me, and the two of us are rolling on the floor because this dog loved Frank so much he wouldn't let him up. And
jeez.
I know it's not funny, but it was the cutest thing you've seen.
I remember, and Elaine posted a picture recently of her. She sent me a picture. I don't know, sent me a picture of her with Sylvester Stallone. He had a tux on, and that was cool.
Yeah, they're cool guys. I'm telling you, I was lucky. I remember the night of the bombing. What was the one in Atlanta when they had the Olympics?
Yeah, the Olympic bombing.
Outside having dinner with this guy on the patio, and we're watching the big screen TV, and that happens. And he goes, "What was that?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe it's fireworks." It was Kevin Costner. So I mean, I had some, but nothing happened.
Wait, you were at dinner with Kevin Costner?
Well, yeah, at his house. Mm-hmm.
At his house.
Many years, no, he was single. He was in between wives. It was not.
Yeah, so you hung with Sylvester Stallone, you hung with Kevin Costner.
But his head of development directed my movie, Vinny and Angela, the mafia comedy that I made.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, that was fun. So I got to sit in the chair in his office and interview all the cast. That's how we cast it, and his head of development, really cool guy.
Wow. Any other big stars you came across?
Oh, I told you I met Tom Selleck at a grocery store.
Oh, yeah. Tom Selleck at a grocery store.
Yeah, and then I can't even say another one, but he's married, and he was married and is working for a stockbroker, but he's like all the ones that girls go nuts over. And after he came in to see my boss, who was his broker, he leaves, and then my boss goes, "Oh yeah, what's his name? Oh God, if I say his name, you'll know." Anyway, he really likes you. I said, "Well, I like him too. He's really nice." He goes, No, he really likes you. I said, "I like him." He said, "He wants to go out with you." I said, "He's married. What are you, crazy?" He said, "You don't care."
He didn't care.
It was Sam put it together. He was the other hot mustachio,
Oh man, you never met Burt Reynolds, did you?
No. I saw him at a party once, at a black tie party, and I was there with a friend of mine, and he was there with Lonnie Anderson. Oh, and she was hot, beautiful.
You saw Lonnie Anderson?
Yeah.
I love Lonnie Anderson. Yeah.
Oh, they were sweet too. I mean, she was sweet. I didn't talk to him, but
yeah, she's got to be getting up there now. She's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I guess she's still. In fact, I think she lives in Florida, or is it Burt Reynolds? Or he's dead, right?
Yeah, he died for a couple of years now. I don't know. I love Burt Reynolds.
I don't know what's going on. This whole year has been a blur.
This year is tough. Elaine's out there hanging with stars, and Cronin's worried about mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese.
I'll tell you, man. I think we should.
What's wrong with this picture, Mike?
I think we should bring it to a vote, because now, as impressed as I was that Elaine was invited to Sylvester Stallone's house to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with him, I gotta say Kevin Costner up Sylvester Stallone on the food chain of
And let me tell you, on everything,
Wow.
he was amazing. You couldn't even stand in his presence without sweating. He was so cute.
Kevin Costner is just, and you know what, Elaine? He seems like a nice guy. When Whitney Houston passed away, he gave a beautiful eulogy. A lot of people don't know this about him. He's a born-again Christian. He was raised in the church like she was, and he gave an absolute heartfelt, beautiful eulogy.
And so was I at the time too. Well, I still am, but I was born again, and I talked to them about. Yeah, that's cool.
He definitely gets my nod as
nice person.
I gotta disagree with you. I would think.
How can you disagree with
if
that?
you gave me an option and I can hang out with Sylvester Stallone, Costner, and I would choose Stallone all day long, unless Lonnie Anderson was it. I'd probably pick her. But
How about Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds, I don't know. I love Burt Reynolds. If he came back for a day, I'd like to hang with
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, I like Burt Reynolds. I loved for so long, Holly's probably, you don't remember. I don't know if you remember a lot of these.
Who are these people you're talking about?
I saw Smokey and the Bandit. I know that reference. That's pretty much. I mean, I know who Sylvester Stallone is. I just.
Have you ever seen any of his movies?
Unfortunately, I haven't. I'm very.
Do you know, Holly? Do you know who Kevin Costner is?
I do not. I should.
Dude, I'm turning you. You know what?
What was he in? I might know if you tell me
now,
what he's in.
young lady.
Bandit.
The
Dances with
Bodyguard.
Wolves and Dances with Wolves.
The Bodyguard.
The Untouchables and the Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah,
Love
I
the
love that one.
game.
Okay.
3,000 Miles to Graceland.
He's
Message
in,
in a Bottle. The Postman. Tin
The
Cup.
Untouchables.
Rumor has it.
The Untouchables is a great
Field of Dreams
Field of
Yeah,
Dreams.
Field of
Oh, I love
Dreams.
that.
and
movie,
Bull
yeah.
Durham. Those are his two big
Bull
ones.
Durham was hot.
Yeah, you got to watch a couple of Kevin Costner movies and a couple of Stallone movies for the next episode, Holly.
Okay,
And we'll
it's
talk
gonna be
about
my
it.
homework.
He
Yeah,
had
I
a
can say we
he
gotta
had a
watch these
great
movies.
role in the movie Hidden Figures, the true story about Katherine
yeah.
Jackson. That was a fantastic role he had.
Kevin Costner's in one of the best TV shows that's on TV right now.
Yes.
It's on the Paramount Network. It's Yellowstone.
Yes.
By far, one of the best TV shows I've ever seen in my life.
Mike, talk us through that. I've seen many advertisement for it. What's that about, Yellowstone?
So he owns a ranch out in the West, and it's been in his family, and it's a huge ranch, and there's people trying to encroach on his land. There's people trying to build casinos, so he's got Native Americans out there. He's got the government wants to put an airport through it, and he doesn't take any shit. It is one of the most violent shows.
Really?
It is. He is. I'm telling you, it is a great. But he plays a great role. He's not a bad guy. He does bad things, but he's not a bad guy. If that makes sense.
That's what they say about me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. when you're playing,
I'm not a bad guy. I did some bad things. I'm all right.
I'm telling you, great TV show.
Bernie's like that too. Bernie's a good guy, but he's done some bad things, right, Bernie?
Well, Bernie, nothing. Bernie looks like he's in the place where he hides the bodies right now.
Bernie, who's your favorite, Stallone or Kevin Costner? Which one would you want?
Me?
If you had to watch one of their movies.
Well, you know, I just watched some Stallone movies, so I'd have to probably say Stallone.
Yeah, I liked him in Rambo and all his movies.
It's different. I mean, some of Kevin Costner movies are like almost better movies, but Stallone definitely. I saw, what was it on the other day? It was like Rambo, the second one. It's ridiculous. It's funny, but Rocky and all those movies. They watch them now. Like I watched him fight the Russian again with the robot. When Paulie's robot comes in, and
yeah, but you can't turn away. You can't turn away from it.
Oh, you can't.
It's flipping through the channels.
I watched the new one that was on Amazon Prime, the Rambo 4 or whatever it was, or 11 or whatever, the one that just came out.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody see that? Did you see that one?
Yeah, he's got the walker, right?
Yeah, it's the walker.
Is that the one where he has to rescue his daughter in Mexico?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, that was a good movie. Elaine, were you in that? Did you have a bit part in that when Stallone went to rescue the daughter?
I didn't have a bit part of it, but I'll tell you another part of that story is after we ate Thanksgiving dinner, they had a home theater, and there were several other people there, and they premiered Home Alone before it came out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, because he in fact, his movie, I think Rocky 4 or 5 or something, came out at the same time. And so I guess he wanted to see Home Alone because he heard all the buzz about it. So when we watched it, I was crying through the whole thing. I laughed. That was the cutest movie. It really never had Joe Pesci. And I can tell I get more Joe.
Did you ever meet Joe Pesci?
I lived there too long. So I had a blind date with him once.
With Joe Pesci?
Wow.
Yes.
You had a blind date with Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
Wow, how'd that go?
And he had blonde hair.
You must have been a little taller than Emily.
I'll tell you, Elaine.
Oh,
I'll tell you, boy.
When am I not?
What was Pesci like?
He was very smart. I gotta say, he's very he has like big art collection. He's very classy, elegant, not like he is in the movies. He's very the opposite. Like,
isn't he a painter? Doesn't he do painting?
Yeah, and he does, and he has like a really good art, pretty vast art collection. But I used to work at Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills, so there was a guy there that worked there that was like the top makeup artist and skincare guy. So he says, Elaine, I'm going to fix you up. And I had just dyed my hair blonde. He says, I'm going to fix you up with this guy, but he likes brunettes. So, if he likes you, dye your hair back. And I'm saying, oh, who is it? He goes, it's someone famous, but I can't tell you. So I'm thinking it's all these amazing big movie stars. And then I get there. I mean, he is, but when I, of course, got there, it was Joe Pesci. But he was funny, and I love My Cousin Vinny's still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's got to be cool. I can't even imagine. So How did you wind up? You were in that scene dating these famous guys, and one day you wound up leaving there, or how do you walk
No.
away
Look
from
at her.
that
Look
scene?
at her. That's how she ends up dating these guys. Look at her.
Right?
Oh, God, God bless. So you know what it is? My family was not doing well. And so I came back here, and my sister, father, mother were all very ill. And one by one, they did pass. And like 2 years ago, my mom was the last of the Mohegans other than me. And so now I have their house, and plus the whole house fell down. The sewer pipe from top floor to the second exploded in the rental next door. And so it took me like a year and a half just to fix everything. But the good news is I am not going to be here after next week. Yay.
Where
You're
you
going?
going?
Where you going, Elaine? I know where you're going. Tell everybody where
Yeah.
you're going.
I'm going south. Very south.
For a few
I mean,
months for the winter.
So I'm going to work down there for a while, and I want to see. Hopefully, there's some. I guess no comedy clubs or anything, and nothing's open. No
I'm not sure.
restaurants.
Elaine, I want to ask you, I don't know if others on the panel realize this, but I do. You with Kevin Costner, Sly Stallone, come on, Mike, Sylvester Stallone, and Joe Pesci, you completed the trifecta. Do you know what you did? You know what you did? You know what you did?
Oh yeah, well it was more but it was very interesting. I had a good
Tell
time.
me what the trifecta is, what you did. You're the only person that I know that I can say, I have a friend who, and then complete this sentence. Anybody get it? Does anybody know? Anybody on the ball here?
Is it like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
No. We're
No.
all in the same movie.
No, the trifecta. I'd like to get
It's
to the
bigger than
great
that.
track. Huh?
Come on, no one knows.
No,
one.
those were the three most popular movie stars at that time when this was happening. So when I met
Dude, I'm going to come over your house and refreeze your pond. All three are Academy Award winners.
Oh, I held the Academy Award. He took it out of the closet and let me hold it.
Goodness.
Closet. Where's
Not
it
the
in the
closet,
closet?
the glass case where it
He
was in.
took out the Academy Award and you held it?
I said I had Kevin's award in my hand, and it was so weird because you don't know what he gives it to me, and I went, oh my God, this is so heavy. It was so heavy. You can't believe how heavy it was.
Wow.
I said, how the heck do you hold something like this? He said, the way you're doing now.
Oh.
The way you're doing now. I like that. I like that, Kevin.
Yeah,
Costner.
but he was cute. He was a nice person.
I don't
But
think
anyway.
anybody could top.
Yeah, no one's going to top that. No one's going to top that unless we get Kevin Costner on himself. Elaine has dated 3 Academy Award winning, 18, and not like one of those, 3-6 Mafia, they throw up a soundtrack and they get one and they're done. 3 iconic actors, Academy Award winners.
I think I dated a girl once that was in a play.
I'm Italian.
That's the best
Now
I can do.
I want to bring it to the panel again too with Pesci. I know where I land on this side of the fence. Does everybody? What's your vote with Pesci? Mob movies?
I'd want to go out with Pesci.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Mike, the question that I'm posing to the panel is: with Pesci, would you rather see him do a mob movie or make a comedy?
Casino. I love them in Casino.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to see him in Goodfellas or Casino or something like that.
He's a great comedic actor too. But
Yeah, he's funny.
He's just,
Oh yeah, he's one of the best.
fun.
But my cousin Vinny was a killer.
Yeah.
Whenever I am in a mood or something, I have it and I put it on, and I laugh so hard. I just love it, especially with Marissa
Goodfellas has got to be one of the best mob movies ever made.
Mhm.
I mean, Goodfellas is just, that's up there. I every time I see that on TV, it's just one I can't pass by. I love that movie. He plays that role so well. It's great.
Oh, wait a minute, Holly. Did you see Goodfellas?
I've been wanting to see Goodfellas. I asked my brother last weekend. I was like, oh, we should watch it. And he's like, no, not right now. He's like, it's a really violent movie. I don't feel like, start. It was late at night. He's like, I don't want to start that right now. Does anyone know where, what, is it on like Hulu or Netflix or any of
you
those?
can find that.
Yeah,
I find that
It
anyway.
was. I don't know if it is now.
I really want to watch it. I was listening to a comedian that did like a movie review podcast, and he was, raving about it. So it's definitely on my watch list.
I'll come up and hang with you and Nick
Yeah.
when the pandemic's over. I'll bring the popcorn. We'll watch
Perfect.
Goodfellas. We'll watch the
I already
Sounds
Bodyguard.
like
watched
a night.
You
We'll
gotta-
watch
Goodfellas.
Rocky.
A few years ago, I forget what the anniversary was. It may have been the 25th anniversary. It may have been that. Anyway, my good friend Nick Albanese, who's tight with John, he is tight with our friend Johnny Ricci, who owns the Sunnyside. So Nick comes up with this idea. He calls him. He goes, "Dude, here's what I want to do. I want to do an anniversary dinner show, and we'll have a screening of Goodfellas." So I grabbed a digital remastered copy. Johnny's got this 80-inch beautiful widescreen up on the wall, and we packed the place. Packed it. And what was very funny was I said to Nick, I said, "My concern, dude," and I said, "if this happens, I'm only down the street. I'm just going to leave and watch it at my house. I can't stand watching a movie with people interrupting, talking. As soon as we hit play, that whole room went whoosh, and they were right in. And with the digital remastered copy, it looked like the cars were coming at you, kind of like ducking out of the way. We had such a fantastic time. That is an iconic movie. Now, with my vote being a comedian and being, a funny kid when I was little and whatnot, I would rather see Pesci comedically, just like Robert De Niro. I'll take De Niro in a comedy any day over his mob stuff.
Mikey. No. De Niro was the ultimate mob guy.
He is. You're right, John. You're
He was
right.
good
I'm
in comedies. He was good. I seen
Right.
him in a few. But what was that? What was he in? Analyze This. Was he in
Analyze this,
Yeah.
analyze
Yeah.
that. I mean, these are great movies, and I would only look foolish to say that I don't enjoy him in the mob movies, because I do. I mean, he is just. I was on John's channel again, as you know. I manage John's YouTube channel, and I was watching a bunch of stuff with De Niro last night. I was watching scenes in Goodfellas, how he just like looking at people, not Goodfellas.
Taxi Driver. Did you
No,
see
good,
Taxi
no,
Driver?
it was good film.
Yeah.
The eyebrows and whatnot. Matter of fact, I was watching Chaz Palminteri. Now, Chaz Palminteri and Nick Albanese are very
Bronx
similar.
Tale.
A Bronx Tale was a one-man play. The Last Sicilian is a one-man play. And when we had it up at Theater 82, sold out, I get called to the front, and it's Ken Garino, who owns Basta and Batello's. He's a big-time restaurant guy, and Google his name and you'll see what else he's big in. I'm going to leave it right there. And he's with David Permit, who is an Academy Award winner producer, or he's been nominated several times. So I get them in, and he tells me after that I enjoyed this immensely. It was just like when I saw Chaz Palminteri's A Bronx Tale. Now, go back to Chaz Palminteri. They all wanted a piece of this play. He's turning it down. He's broke. He's got like $200 in his pocket. He turned down $250. He turned down $1 million. And one day he goes into work, and the guy says, Bob De Niro is in your office. So he goes in, he meets Robert De Niro for the first time, and he tells him, I love the play. Here's what I want to do. I want to produce it, direct it. You star in it. You got to play Colosio. Absolutely. So they sign their agreement, and then De Niro calls him up and he says, I'm flying your dad in for a month. He's like, what? I'm flying him in. He wanted to study him for a month. And Chaz Palminteri said, when I watch A Bronx Tale, for me as a boy living that, I say, that's my dad. So that's a commitment to acting that, and I think I told this story before with Kathy Moriarty on what was that one? Raging Bull.
Raging Bull.
He was only 17 when she played that part. He hit her so hard, he almost broke her in half. He said to her, he broke character, which he never does. He said, are you okay? So yes, I would enjoy him in a mob movie because he is just so good. But I just like him better in comedy. I love The Intern. I love all the Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers.
But Mike, you also like pizza at Cumberland Farms.
Yeah, but I'm
So how
telling
good
you.
is your word?
Right, but you got to remember though, John. It's made by DiGiorno's.
If we put out a survey on the internet of how many people are on, what's their favorite pizza place, and 500 people responded, you'd be the only one that said
That's
Cumberland
right.
Farms.
It's
Good pizza.
never going to come back Cumberland Farms. Never.
You would be the only one. There's nobody rushing to Cumberland Farms right now for pizza.
But he doesn't want a line anyways. He likes the secret. He likes the secret to be kept. That's what I think.
That's
He's
right.
not going to get
Robert De
mine
Niro
now.
gets his pizza legend.
telling you,
His
Johnny.
Cumberland Farms.
Johnny, next time you come along, I'm going to get one, and you're going to say, "Dude, this is incredible."
I've had pizza there. I've been when I used
have
to
we
drink.
have we all had DiGiorno's pizza?
Yeah.
I've had it. I've had it.
Well, that's what makes it. So anyway,
Oh.
I would take De Niro in the comedy, and I would take Elaine's other date there, Joe Pesci in comedy. I
What
like
about
the-
Sylvester Stallone? You're gonna tell us you're a big fan of his comedies? Don't shoot, or my mom will throw you
No,
from
I
the
don't
train
like.
or whatever that was
I
called. and
don't like Sylvester
Oscar
Stallone.
and all his other
comedy.
movies.
No, I don't, Bernie. I definitely don't. But I like to be able to see someone be able to stretch themselves. Like I love The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon Cooper. He played a great serious role in Hidden Figures. Steve Carell from The Office. One of the most, in my humble opinion, Michael Scott is one of the most iconic comedic characters on TV, just like Sheldon Cooper. But then go and watch Steve Carell when he was nominated for the Academy Award in Foxtrot. You're gonna say, "Whoa, that's not the same guy."
Oh, wait a minute.
My only
No.
piece of advice for Holly though is when you watch these movies, don't watch them on TV. Because hearing Joe Pesci go, what am I, a clown? What am I, a fluffing clown? You have to watch them on the regular, because what they do to these TV things is just a terrible thing. There's
Right.
just words.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay. I don't have cable, so.
Okay, good. Don't only stream it.
Those movies are worth watching because I just watched that with my daughter. I watched Goodfellas a couple months ago. She's 12. And I was like, "This is my favorite movie. You got to see this." And she watched it, and it was like obviously a bad parenting decision, maybe, but she watched it. She was like, "That movie was freaking awesome, Dad." She was like, that was awesome. She really enjoyed it. So
I do like.
same thing with my son. He watched it when he was he's a kid, and these movies they do hold up because it's like I say, you show it to a kid who doesn't know anything about he knows about movies, but they were like, "That was great."
I do like watching the movies on TV sometimes, though, because the guys they have that dub in the words that they can't say on network TV always have like a voice that just doesn't even match the character. You'll have Joe Pesci's up at the screen, and Joe Pesci's talking like this, and all of a sudden the words dubbed in, and he's like, "What am I, a flubbing clown to you?" It's so great.
That guy's like so excited.
It's really funny.
How's your voiceover career going, Paul? Oh,
Yeah,
great. I dubbed Joe
right.
Pesci last
I'm
week.
telling you, man, Mike Thomas, you do great impressions. You
They
do
pull people
great
off the street and
impressions.
They pull people off the street to dub in those things. They're like, "Hey, let me come in here." They don't even test them. They don't do anything.
Right.
They-
I got to ask Elaine. Elaine, you dated 3 Oscar winners, Academy Award winners.
Oh,
Did you
I
ever date
never
anybody
thought
from a
of
sitcom? Did you ever date
I
anybody?
just told you that, Elaine.
Gee, you know what? I can't even remember.
They were too small.
Funny.
Those
Life is
guys.
good.
You're right. She's
She's
not gonna date a guy with like an Emmy or a Grammy. She's Academy Award only.
No, it's funny because that's what I wanted to do was be on a sitcom, and it's funny I didn't date anybody on a sitcom.
Ed O'Neill calls her. She's hanging up on him.
Oh. Bernie, I wouldn't worry about being a bad parent. I am the worst mother ever. I have taught my 3 girls that if you go in the kitchen and make a huge mess and come back later, it's all cleans up itself.
Oh,
That's what my daughters think, thanks to me.
Yeah.
To you.
Boy,
My wife does the same thing. You know who cleans it?
You
You.
do?
I was thinking when you're talking about movies, when I was 9 years old, my father took me to see Bonnie and Clyde with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. That's an old one. Now that's one you got to watch, Holly. Bonnie and Clyde came out in 1967 about the crime spree they went on a couple. That was a good movie. That was a good movie.
I
My
feel
mother.
bad. We've lost Holly. Holly's looking at her phone. She's texting her.
I'm sorry. I'm
Aw.
Get
sorry.
me off
I
this
had to-
bleeping
it
She's
was-
not.
show.
She's trying to research and keep up with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She's texting her boyfriend
Sorry.
Nick. I
Idiot,
hate
no,
you.
old timey.
It was a
Buster
work call. I'm
Keaton,
sorry.
who are
It
these
was
old
my-
people?
Oh, Holly, don't worry,
It was
buddy.
my coworker. I had to see if he was going to be in tomorrow because he was out sick, so I didn't know if I had to cover for him again. I'm sorry. It was
Holly, let's bring it to you. What is your genre? What's in your wheelhouse for the movies that you like? Who are your favorite actors?
Oh God. I mean, I love comedies. I need to watch more movies. I've not watched nearly enough movies, I feel like, to really get a good sense. A lot of, the actors in the movies I did used to like have since been canceled. So it's like, you tell somebody your favorite movie and they're like, ooh, you're like, that's never a good sign.
Oh.
Yeah. But you gotta see Goodfellas, Holly. Make sure you and Nick see that.
That's
Yeah,
a
I actually
timeless
really do
classic.
want to see
Like the
Goodfellas.
Godfather is a timeless classic. Matter of fact, he just remastered the Godfather, the Coda, the Death of Michael Corleone. That is supposed to be really good. He changed some scenes.
I'm trying
and
to.
whatnot.
When is
I'm
that
trying-
coming out?
It came out like last week.
Is
I
it
tried
on
to tell
Netflix or?
I think you can buy it. I think you have to buy it and then you can stream it. I don't think it's in one of my friends from church, Carol Horton, I'm gonna give you a shout out. She bought it. She enjoyed it.
What's the name of it again? The Godfather?
It's the God. Let me talk to Google for a second here.
Don't do that.
The
Holly was
Godfather.
texting, we got her in trouble. and
Coda.
You can't
Poor
do that.
Holly.
Like-
You gotta-
They're filming a movie over
Yeah.
in Fall River this week. You guys see that?
3 hours.
Which
Wait,
one?
They're filming a movie over in Fall River. They're down Battleship Cove. Leonardo DiCaprio and what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence and Meryl Streep are down there this
Are you
weekend.
serious?
Yeah, they're in Boston
Fall
doing
River.
some stuff, and then we're down at Battleship Cove over the weekend.
Wow.
It is called
call me.
Godfather. The Godfather Coda. The Death of Michael Corleone.
And who is it? Like the original Godfather, and they changed
The
scenes on
original
him?
one, but what Coppola does, if you jump on YouTube, you can watch the videos with him. He changed it up. He changed some scenes around me. You got to figure they're shooting this movie. Anyone who's worked on a movie before, I haven't. Elaine has. I don't know if anybody else has. Elaine knows the work. I mean, Elaine, you've definitely been on some movie sets. A lot of hours go into that. So they have all this canned footage, and he changed things up. And the feedback that I've heard from people is they love it. They really, really like.
Is the horse's head still in the bed? That's what I want to know.
Oh, God.
Holly, the guy woke up in the morning. It was a sign from the mafia that he was in trouble. He had a horse's head in his bed.
Yeah, I've heard of
Oh,
that.
God, I hated that scene.
I think Family Guy did a spoof on that where it was like Stewie accidentally left his toy horse on like a stick in Peter's bed, so they made it look like the scene from the movie.
Godfather.
I have a terrible confession to make. I have never seen any Godfather.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Mikey,
Oh.
come on.
I've never
They have
seen
Godfather marathons on all the time. Come on.
I know. And it's my generation. Like that was, I think it was a little bit before my generation.
Well, you
but
gotta see the Godfather movies.
I know. I honest to God, I think I still have a box set that my aunt and uncle let me borrow about 10 years ago that I just never gave back because I didn't watch it. I mean, that's the rule, right? You don't give it back till you watch it, right? Because I still have.
Right, there you go. I personally did not enjoy Godfather 3, so I'll definitely watch the Coda. But I did enjoy Godfather 1, Godfather 2. I thought they were very, very strong.
Well, now that we've done a review of 25 movies, Mike, is there any comedy we can talk about?
I'm telling you, man. I've brought it to comedy. I like Robert De Niro better in comedies. I like.
I'm talking about comedy, not movies, but just
comedy. Let's
this
talk
is the
about Kevin
comedy
Hart.
chat. This is the comedy chat, and we've gone way off course. Elaine took us into the
Let's
Oscars.
go to Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Hart. I like Kevin
I saw
Hart.
Kevin Hart at the Comedy Connection. He'd done the scary movies, and he was just starting to get big. He was at the Comedy Connection. This is a number of years ago, and then all of a sudden, he blew up. Kevin Hart.
John, we don't use the word big when we talk about Kevin Hart.
No, I'll tell you, man. If you want to learn how to run your business, look up Patrick Bet David is a great YouTuber interviewer. He interviews the biggest of the big, and he has Kevin Hart on there. Man, you got to sit down and take out a notebook. Kevin Hart is an absolute genius. He's a mastermind. That's why he's where he is at. He is absolutely.
And that's why we're at, because we're not masterminds. Kevin Hart's a mastermind, and we're doing a Zoom in a pandemic. I'm on the second floor of my daughter's bedroom.
Yeah, but
what
John, I dispute you with that, and here's why. You have owned, let's call it 30 years. It's 29, but let's round it up. You've owned the Comedy Factory for 30 years. Had you, and you have built, in my opinion, one of the most successful booking agencies, not only here on the East
It
Coast.
wasn't pandemic proof, Mike.
Nothing.
What is?
What's the point that I want to make? And you said to yourself, and I'm one of your best friends, I love you with all my heart. If you had said 30 years ago, I'm going to be an actor, with the drive that you have, Elaine would have been dating you with an Academy Award. Because that's the drive.
I would have had an Academy Award.
Yeah, I thought of that last night. Last night I was watching that Mandalorian, the Star Wars show, and Bill Burr was in that. They had a whole scene and the whole thing about it. I'm thinking, how I know you. You know Bill Burr, and he worked with you, and
right, exactly.
now he's in Star Wars.
Like, what John did was John kept his focus on.
Who's in Star Wars? Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
I didn't know that. He's going to be in Star Wars.
Yeah, there's like a show on Disney Plus called The Mandalorian, like one of the characters there, and he plays this. They put a lot of different people in it, like comedian, like Amy Sedaris and a couple other people are comedians, and a lot of people in costumes for that. But Bill Burr's in there just as Bill Burr, and he's like a space assassin, but he talks like he's a master.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up with. I mean, it's a pandemic.
Shoot this laser.
It's a pandemic going on, Bernie. Now he's in Star Wars. He hosted Saturday Night Live. He was in a movie called King of Staten Island. He's done all right.
That was a good movie.
Well,
Yeah, it was a good movie.
They have a thing with cameos. People are doing cameos. The one guy from The Office, when he has kind of the bigger guy, he's making like $1 million plus just doing cameos. And first of all, I just think it's just being in the right place at the right. If I had an agent, I'd be doing all kinds of stuff, because I have screenplays and songs and books and inventions. I have everything in place, but I have an agent. All I need is an agent. And my book on domestic violence, forget about it. It would be huge. Oh my God. I don't have an agent, so.
But have you sent it out to anybody? Have you sent it out?
I've been doing everything for 10 years.
Really?
Crying too.
Something might break. You never know. Something might break.
Self-publish. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I remember working with Bill Burr, and I used to pay him $25, and now he's making millions. I joke with him whenever I see him. I had to introduce him at the Comedy Connection in 2009, and he said, "Tell us a story about how you paid me $25 at Old McDonald's Chicken Farm in Swansea. I paid Bill Burr $25." We still keep. I texted him after Saturday Night Live, told him I thought he did a great job. Yeah. He's a great guy. You know what I mean? He's done unbelievable.
I heard him talking about you on his podcast.
Do you remember him, Mike? Wait, hold on, Bern. Do you remember him, Mike, from back then?
This is the thing. I had to have worked with him. Janet and I have talked about it. He had to have been at some of the shows, but him and Bob Marley, they look so familiar. You know what I mean? I'm sure that we've worked with each other.
Yeah, Bob Marley was coming around a lot back
Yeah.
then. Bill Burr, so you probably did, you know.
I saw him in Orlando. I took Janet to go see Bill Burr. He was at a big place down here, and I had to have worked with him. I had to have.
He's great. Bernie, what were you gonna say?
Oh, no. When you were saying how you worked with him there, I was listening to his podcast one time a couple of years ago when he started mentioning you and stuff like that.
Yeah, he talked. One time, I don't ask him too much, but my son's got a best-selling book out. So I texted him one day. For the heck of it, I said, "Bill, on your podcast, will you throw my son a plug? He's got a best-selling book." And he went on there, and he talked about my son's. It's a dating book about dating. He joked about it. He said a whole bunch of funny stuff. He went into like a 5-minute ramble about my son's book about my son. He's really coul. Yeah, he's really cool. But I don't ask him here and there. You know, I don't want to be a pain in the ass.
I heard an interview with him, Johnny. I don't know if it was on his own podcast or if he was like in town doing a big show and they had him on the radio. But he mentioned you, and he tells the chicken farm story, and the impression that he does of you is so funny.
Oh, you heard that? Yeah, he imitates me. Bill Burr imitates me.
I'd love to hear that. I would love to hear that.
He was just on Rogan recently. I just listened to his new episode on Rogan. It was really good. It was really. He was just talking about like getting back into comedy and like forgetting how much fun it was, and he was getting into like the motion of it. And then now with these drive-in shows, it's a whole new style. He said it was like he had to relearn how to get the audience's attention and how to be himself and get the audience to like him and everything. And it was really cool. It's a really good show.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Good episode. I never met Joe Rogan, Holly. Back in the early 90s, I was starting off. This guy, Brian Deary, used to book shows around here. He said, I'm going to have you MC. I'm going to have you host this show. So-and-so's in it. The headline is this comic from Boston, kind of dirty, Joe Rogan. So you're going to be hosting the show. So a week before the show, for whatever reason, it got canceled. And I didn't know who Joe Rogan was. And then all of a sudden, Joe Rogan blew up. And I was like, I could have worked with him. I was going to work with him. That would have been cool.
I told my Joe Rogan story. I remember Joe Rogan. I used to go down to the Periwinkles when it was in the arcade, and Joe Rogan would come down quite a bit. And I remember, John, you remember him, this name I'm going to drop out, Sean Sinat. Sean Sinat was up on stage, and he's doing a bit. And the way Charlie Hall had set up Periwinkles, you went into the, like, let's call it the comedy lounge, and then it was lined off with like curtains behind it and whatnot. So Sean Sinat is doing this bit, and Joe Rogan had already gone up and did his time, and he was, he's getting ready to leave. He's Joe Rogan. He was a big headliner back then. And he sticks his head through one of those curtains, and he tells Sean Sinat to retell the joke like this. So Sean Sinat was a feisty redheaded guy, so he wants to, he kind of pushes back, and Joe Rogan says, look, I'll be polite at how he said it, but I'll paraphrase. Joe Rogan says, look, I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just telling you, tell a joke like this, pause right here, give you a punchline, and they'll laugh. Now, all you can see is Joe Rogan's head through the curtain. So Sean Sinat now realizes the guy's not giving me a hard time. I'm not being heckled. So he retells the joke. They laugh. Joe Rogan said, I told you so, pulled his head back, and off he went. And then he was, next thing for him was news radio.
Yeah, he's had an unbelievable career. I saw him, I went to Universal Studios. He was filming right there at Fairfax. I was near him. I wanted to say, hey, Joe, I almost worked with you, but I couldn't get near him. Hey, Joe, I almost worked with you in 91. Elaine's dating Academy Award winners. Me, I'm trying not to say, hey, I almost worked with you. I mean, it's been a rough career, Elaine. You got one more story, Elaine, before we get into our wrap-up. You got one more.
Oh, God.
You always get these stories.
I'm trying to think of one. Geez, I'm a little blanking right now.
You were a Houston Oilers cheerleader. That must have been, I know you told stories of that in the past. So you can think of a story from
I told the story that one time I was, we were all doing this thing for the news, and we were on this brick floor at the Oilers headquarters, and we were doing a high kick, and I slipped, I fell and hit the back of my head, almost knocked myself out. Yeah, so instead of like calling the ambulance, I said, oh, you're dismissed from the practice, because I mean, it was very serious. $15 a game, so we had to really practice. So anyway, I went home and I'm driving home, and you know, you don't feel well, and I come in and I see guys in my yard and in my driveway, and I said to the kid next door, get your friend's car out of my driveway. And he said, oh no, you got your friends over your house. I said, what? So I go walking in, and there's all that my stuff is from the second floor and first floor, all piled in a pile. And the German Shepherd's in the back barking. They were stealing in my house. I had 2 robbers in my house.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, and one of them was this big, tall guy with like a red afro, you know, like a real wild red hair, and you know, and it looked like a big, skinny kid. And then the other one was, you know, a little guy with dark hair. And I'm like, what are you doing in my house? And I start swearing at them. I don't know what, because I guess I had a headache. I can blame it on that. I just started cussing them out. And instead of them like beating me up or grabbing me, they were like, ma'am, be kind. I promise we're going to put everything back. We'll put everything back. All right, go ahead. And I knew I had a .357 loaded in the drawer, but I couldn't get to it because, yeah, I couldn't get by them. So I said, no, I'll just wait here. So one goes upstairs, and he's bringing all the hunting rifles of my ex-boyfriend upstairs, who happened to be in Florida, and out of town working. So he's yelling, hey, lady, come on upstairs and let me show you where I put everything. I'm like, oh no, I'm you know what? You know.
You didn't think, I think you should have called the cops on me.
Yeah. But I'm not that dumb, huh?
Hey, listen, down in Florida, you can just shoot people that come into your house.
Yep.
You know what?
You just shoot people
Like
in Florida,
Thomas.
can't you? They don't have to be in your house, right?
I would think you could do that anywhere. Can you do that anywhere? If somebody comes in your house, can you shoot them?
Probably here now. Huh?
No, it's not. It's very hard to get away with it. But in Florida, the governor just passed a law that if anybody breaks into your house, you can shoot them.
What about in Rhode Island? If somebody breaks in my house, I can't shoot them?
I wouldn't say.
You have to give them a nice dinner, at least a drink.
Yeah, I think
I'll tell
they'll
them.
arrest you.
They break in my house, I'll look at him with the gun and I'll say, who's got the best pizza in Rhode Island? If he says Cumberland Farms, I'll shoot him.
There you go.
Actually, Mike, I think it was the law they passed was if you see somebody looting, you can shoot them. I think you could already shoot them if they were breaking in your house. I think they added looting onto that just recently.
No, the looting, yes, but it's included your house too.
Yeah.
Looting of the house. If you're home or whatever and someone breaks into your house, they consider that looting now, and you can do anything down in Florida. That's what Elaine, if you're moving to Florida, everything's open. You'll have plenty of work.
Everything's open.
Well, Wes.
On that
I
note,
can only have rifles, shotgun. I can't have a handgun either.
well,
There's no restrictions. There's no nothing down there, right, Mike? There's no masks. There's no restrictions. There's no
Oh, no,
anything.
you have to wear masks.
Thankfully, everybody wears masks. But, you know, I mean, you go out, everybody's got a mask on. But, I mean, they don't. You can do whatever you want down here. They don't care. You know.
the COVID's through the roof over there, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
And
it's everywhere.
You know, and you know, we got a new resident coming next month, and he's going to make everything fine. He's going to open up everything in Florida. Everything's going to be great.
Oh boy.
And on that note, Mike,
Sarcasm.
we're going to wrap this up. Debra Palardy, what are you going to say to wrap it up tonight on the Zoom?
Well, I love people so much. I mean, I'm just so inspired by people and how resilient we all are, and you know, we just make do and rise to the occasion. You know, it's just these Zooms are you know, a good example. But all over the country, I'm seeing people just rise to the occasion and helping each other, and you know, coming to each other's rescue. And I'm just really impressed by people, and I just have faith that even if things get worse, we are gonna just knock it out of the park. We're gonna get it. We're gonna be fine. I just feel like we are. And just one thing about Joe Pesci, my husband and I have been married for a long time, and ever since that movie, every once in a while we'll see some kids walking on the streets like, oh, 2 youths. we still say that. We just said it again this weekend. It was funny, but I mean, I don't say it every week, but you know, it just comes up once in a while. We still say that.
It's good having you on, Deborah.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you coming on, and look forward to working with all you guys.
Yes.
Holly, what do you got to say to wrap it up over there? You got a list of movies you got to watch. You
Yeah, I got a
homework
list of movies
assignment.
I gotta watch now, so it's gonna take me a while. No, this was fun,
Now's the
John.
time.
I really appreciate you and Mike having me on, and always thinking of me for these things. I like doing these things. I like meeting other comics and everything. I like hearing the stories about LA. Like I wanted to move to LA right before the pandemic. Clearly, that didn't happen. But I mean, honestly, probably for the best. Probably wasn't the right time. But yeah, no, I had a good time, and I hope everyone has a good holiday and stays safe and hopefully has some fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, Holly, thanks for coming on. Tell Nick we said hello. I think I had him on recently. Is he over there? Is he with you tonight? Is Nick over there?
Nick says hello.
What's he doing over there? How long's he been over there? Nick,
Look at Nick. He's in
laying
bed.
in
He's
bed
in
over there?
bed.
What the hell's going on, my
Lazy
man?
bones.
We've been talking
We had a
about Nick
hidden
the whole
guest.
show, and he's over there in bed. It's funny, Holly.
We wanted to keep our shows separate, so we're just
Yeah, keep it separate. Let me zoom over to Nick on the bed. We know that's cool. Mike Thomas in Florida. What are you gonna say to wrap it up, bro?
First of all, is Nick wearing pants? I want to know if Nick's wearing
I'm
pants.
wearing pants, yeah.
yeah, he's wearing pants.
We love you, Nick.
Thank you, John.
My scorpion bowl is empty. Sad time. No, I look forward to these every time I do these. I have to tell you, today was a rough day. I wasn't looking forward to the Zoom, but I'm so glad. It's a great thing. I love doing these.
Yeah,
It's a
lot
great
of fun. A
Yeah.
lot of fun. We got the Imposter reunion.
Yes,
Zoom,
January.
3rd. I'm looking forward to that.
Looking forward. Yep.
So thanks for coming on, Mike. Bernie Perrotti on location in Somerset, Mass. with the Biden transition team. What do you got to say, Bernie?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show again. I appreciate Deborah's optimism about people, and personally, I think people are the worst, and we're gonna get everything we deserve. We're gonna get everything coming to us. I hope everybody has a good holiday and stays safe, and stay away from countries where fungal infections are. Stay away from them. See that on the news or see that on those medical ads. Stay away from those places. Don't wear those countries. Don't go there.
All right. Bernie's got to get to a project now when this show's over. We love you, Bernie.
If I did any projects, would it look like this? No, I don't do anything. That's why it's unfinished. I just dress like this and tell people I'm tired of it.
Bernie, I'm gonna give you a tip here to see how aware people are on the Zoom shows. What you got to do is that lamp that's over your shoulder has never been turned on. Get it turned on one show. Let's see if anyone recognizes that it's turned on.
Mike, just go to Cumberland Farms and have your pizza, okay? We love you, Mike. Elaine Pelino, what are you going to say to wrap it up, Elaine?
I want to say thank you for having me on, John, and especially during this COVID. The good news is they have Zoom in Florida, so I can Zoom. Just keep it rolling. I'll show the palm trees in the background this time. Anyway, yeah, and I enjoyed everybody's stories, and I think hope Mike doesn't put the Cumberland Farm pizza in the microwave to heat, because that would be about the only thing to make that taste a little bit better.
Now, Elaine, you dated 3 Academy Award winners. 3 Academy Award winners. Who shovels your driveway? You got this big storm coming. Who shovels your driveway? The Alec Baldwin or?
Yeah. All the Baldwin brothers come over.
All the Baldwin brothers head over to Elaine's house.
I won't even get the Marx brothers or whatever. God, I do it myself. I have a little snow blower, but I got a new plow guy. Hey, Joe, thank you for coming to plow my driveway. So got a new contractor guy for this. Hopefully everything works out, because because I still have a house full of people, because I have a bunch of tenants. So in the house, because I only have a little tiny part, the rest is other people. So got a really big driveway, and I used to shovel it with my dad by myself, or with my dad. Yeah, but now he's passed, so I had to do it. So anyway, that's all.
Well, we always love having everybody on. Elaine's always got. Every time she tells the stories, it's something else 3 Academy Award winners. That's a mind blower. That's crazy.
I hope I have some new ones when I go there.
Yeah, you gotta come up with some stories when you go to Florida, so you can come out with some new
Ooh.
stories. You're great, Elaine. And Mike Cronin, you got the last word, brother.
Man, I am humbled and honored to have
Says
been
it
on
every
this
time.
show tonight. This was so much fun. Johnny P, I love you with all my heart. I agree with Debra Palardy. People are resilient. People join together, pull together from the same side of the rope, and we get through this. Mike Thomas, always an absolute sheer joy to see your smiling face. You are such a good person. You have such a good heart. The impressions that you do, hilarious. And I'll tell you, man, when Elaine visits Florida, it would be, I'll lose it. I'll pass out laughing if we turn her camera on and you're sitting next to her on the couch drinking a Scorpion Bowl. That would,
Oh my God.
And
We
he's
should
got
do
an
that.
Academy Award.
that's right. He's going to get an Academy Award first.
And I won't say a word. I'll just sit there and just drink my Scorpion.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny. Bernie, it's always great to see you, man. I love the background. I love your genuineness. I haven't met you in person, man, but you just seem like a great guy. Elaine, great stories all the time. I mean, I now can tell my friends I have a friend that's dated 3 Academy Award winners. That is just like unbelievable. God bless you. Holly Johnston, you have such drive. I'm confident that one day I'm going to tell my granddaughter I'm friends with her, and she's going to say back, Grampy Mike, please. You don't know Holly Johnston. I really do. I really do. I've enjoyed being on this show tonight. It was a lot of fun. These Zoom shows do help us to get through difficult days. The Word of God tells us that He will fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with shouts of joy. That's Job 8:21. That's right on my website, laughterandhope.com. So we're all going to get through this. I pray that you all enjoy the holiday season, Christmas, the birth of our Savior with your families and your loved ones. God bless you all. And remember, you're not alone through this. You're not alone through this. And if you're having a tough day, reach out, call somebody, talk. Call me. I love to talk. I can clip 4 hours off, no problem. John hangs up on me. Here's what I get from John. Brother, I got to go.
Mike can talk, but I love talking to Mike, but he can talk. I want to wish all you guys and girls Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, 2021, God willing, going to be a much better year than this year. I've lost 2 people I knew in the last week of COVID, so it's no hoax, it's no joke, it's a serious disease. God pray for their families, and it's a tough situation. I want, again, everybody, happy holidays. It's great having you on. You'll all be back on again. It's fun doing this, kind of keeping on. We do it for us, keeping our sanity, and some people are watching it, and I think they're enjoying it. We get comments. People are enjoying it, so it's a lot of fun. I want to thank all you guys and girls. Again, happy holidays. We'll see you soon.
Thanks,
Happy holidays.
God bless.